Apple versus FBI gets intense as the former gets support from tech heavyweights for its legal motion. Facebook Reactions is now available to all. Weibo gets a massive $250 million from media giant Naspers. Flipkart pulls the plug of its lesser-known grocery delivery arm Nearby. And there's more to come. It's Sunday, Feb 28th, and welcome to an all-new episode of The Bulletin. Hey guys, this is Prakhar. The Apple versus FBI battle, which has quite rightly become tech history's most iconic fights with government interference, has gotten even more intense. Let's get you through all the updates. Post Tim Cook's message to his customers about how his company won't build any sort of backdoor to San Bernardino terrorists' iPhone, the company has now filed a legal motion against the FBI order. In its filing, Apple says that the unprecedented order by the government finds no support in the eyes of law and would violate the Constitution. The 65-page legal document hits strongly upon the All Writs Act invoked by the FBI for compelling Apple to open the iPhone and argues that the government has closed the debate and is beginning this battle behind doors instead of in Congress. Following this, tech giants, including the likes of Microsoft, Google, Facebook, and Twitter, have come up in strong support for Apple. They are reportedly planning to file a joint motion in support of Apple. Bored of simply liking on Facebook? Well, the social networking giant, as you must have already noticed, has opened up reactions to all of its users. In order to use this newly introduced feature, Facebook users have to long press on the like button, which reveals the reactions of love, haha, wow, sad, and angry. Once a user hits a reaction on a post in the newsfeed, the post displays all the mixed reactions it received. The much longed for dislike button has still been kept out, even after repeated attempts by some users to force Facebook to introduce it on the newsfeed. Facebook started testing its reactions in Spain and Ireland, and additional confused and yay reactions were eventually kicked out. Weibo Group, the online travel booking giant which operates the famed GoWeibo and Redbus, has received an additional $250 million from its existing investors, Naspers. The company is planning to use these funds to strengthen its position in the hotels category and bring in additional technological innovation into its system. And recently joining the unsuccessful grocery delivery services is Flipkart's Nearby. The rather lesser-known grocery delivery app, with just over 100,000 downloads and functional only in Bangalore, is shutting down after a short stint. The hyperlocal delivery services as a whole hasn't actually been able to pick up at all. Multiple services are either retracting from the less profitable markets or are completely shutting down. Numerous examples in the same code would include the likes of Grofers and PepperTap, who in spite of having a decent capital backing, have had to pull back operations. And Uber's worries are not ending anytime soon. Well, at least in China. Its fiercest competitor there, and perhaps globally, Didi Kwedi, has reportedly closed another $1 billion deal in a fresh round, valuing the company to the north of $20 billion. This actually clarifies Uber CEO Travis Kalanick's previous statements on a Canadian blog, where he said that Uber has a fierce competitor in China, which is unprofitable in every city they exist, but is buying up market share. He also said how he's left with no other option but to raise more cash to fight off competitors like Didi Kwedi. The company, meanwhile, has become profitable in the US, but the claim is disputed. Xiaomi, the Chinese upstart which saw a massive rise to glory but has been on a downward trail ever since it achieved its peak, has launched its latest flagship, the Snapdragon 820-powered Mi5. And no matter how much this second most valued startup distances itself from Apple, the device continues to see design and hardware elements taken straight from the iPhone. The device features a fingerprint sensor along with a physical home button. It has 4 GB of RAM backed up by 128 GB of onboard flash storage. And while most of it is pretty normal, the Snapdragon's beastly 820 could prove to be of advantage that only Samsung's S7 and the S7 Edge possess as of now. Now, let's move on to our quickfire startup activity roundups from the past week. EduBridge, a startup helping semi-urban Indian youths to develop their skills, has scored $2.5 million in a fresh round led by Insider Impact Asia Fund and Acumen Fund. EduBridge is an education and training company that aims to transform the lives of youth in rural and semi-urban India by training them in various skill sets. JustPay Technologies, a Bangalore-based mobile payment startup app, has received close to $6 million as investments in a Series A round. Book My Show and venture capital firm Axel Partners pitched in to provide that capital boost. Craftsvilla has announced the acquisition of placeoforigin.in, an online gourmet food marketplace. As for the deal, it is a share swap one, with Place of Origin founder Ashish Nichani and Sudarshan Metla joining the team of Craftsvilla. NoBroker.com, a peer-to-peer rental marketplace eliminating broker interference while buying properties, has raised $10 million in a Series B round. It was led by Japan-based BNext and Digital Garage, along with Singapore-based Asuka Holdings, Qualgrow, Mamuro Thanya, and its existing investors, the SEF Partners. Continuing with PM Modi's call for making India a startup hub, the Indian Railways is stepping up the game too. The world's 8th largest employer has announced setting aside Rs 50 crores for innovation grants to startups and small businesses. That's all for this Sunday, folks. Stay tuned and goodbye.